Hey guys, Dr. Danny McLane here, coming to you live, recorded, with another episode. And today's topic is sort of another framing statement. It's another clinical pearl. I get the question a lot. Hey, I'm not doing anything different. Why am I so bad, or why am I so hard to fix? It was never this bad before. And for that, I like to draw you a slight parallel to an airplane. Imagine you're in an airplane, 10,000 feet, and every year you drop 1,000 feet. Eventually, it's only going to really matter the last few hundred feet off the ground you are. But then, in order to restore your health, we have to start, not only stop the decline, but then also start to rebuild you and incline you. So that's the whole, if I'm not doing anything different, well, if what you've been doing is making your health worse, you won't notice it. And that has a lot to do with threshold. Starlings Law in neurology says either a nerve will fire or it won't. There's no partial firing. It either hits threshold and happens, there's an action potential, or it doesn't at all. So this happens this is a natural law. It happens in all things. It's threshold, right? It happens with water. At 33 degrees, pure water is liquid. At 32 degrees, it's a solid. It doesn't freeze gradually. It gets colder gradually and then freezes at one specific temperature. The body's a lot like that. And you have on average, 3, 4, 5, 6 different backup systems in the body. So if one system is troubled, then your body will compensate with another, then with another, then with another, and with another. And eventually, when you wear out all of your ability to compensate, that's when you have the breakdown. It's like that game Jenga or wooden block tower. As you pull the blocks out, it gets more and more unstable, and people are like, it still resembles a tower. Well, you pull out that one last block, the whole thing collapses. You can't just put that one block back and be like, that's perfect. It doesn't happen that way. Once it falls down, you got to restack all the blocks. And that's what happens in the body. That's why I tell people, come in once in a while, even if you don't feel terrible, get adjusted, and you can stave off a lot of those collapses. The only people that really get it are the people that have had regular collapses. They're like, every few months. Those people, like every 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. And that comes down to a lot with physiology. A sprain ligament takes between 6 and 24 months to heal completely, and that's straight out of the textbook. So what happens when people's symptoms go away, they start feeling a little better, and then they go back to doing the same things they were doing before without having the proper, reintroduction back to work hardening or physical therapy. So they go right back to doing the things that were causing them to have that loss of health, and then, maybe 3, 4, 5, 8 months later, the same exact thing happens. Boom. How many times, maybe in your own personal life, or somebody that they've had a recurring sprained ankle, or, that's my bad knee, shoulder, elbow, wrist, back, like pick any joint, right? It's the bad one. Why? Because it never healed completely, and it's been re-injured several times, and every time it gets injured, it doesn't heal back quite as well as it should have, so it's more predisposed to re-injury. And that's if we're looking at that as just an isolated injury. One of my other videos, I talked about kinetic versus direct trauma, and a lot of times a peripheral joint like the wrist or the elbow or the shoulder, it comes from somewhere higher up in the nervous system or closer to the spine, and if that part's not corrected, you'll have a lot of other problems. So that answers that question. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys and really makes it so you understand what some of those recommendations are, or if you're under care and you're like, I don't know, I've got adjusted a couple of times, and it just seems like, I wasn't that bad, but then I got really bad, and now I'm not getting better very quickly. It's because when you got really bad, that was the last Jenga block to fall over. Now we're picking your tower up piece by piece by piece, and we're rebuilding it. Sort of the argument for longer term care is just really that you'll be more durable. So some people are like, you know what, I'm out of pain, I'm going to behave myself, I can distance myself from that thing that was causing me problems, and I'll just take the slow road, and I'll be cautious, and if anything happens, I'll come back in. And other people are like, I'm throwing bricks all day, or I'm bent over patients all day doing dentistry, or running after kids or shoveling gravel or whatever the case may be. If you can't distance yourself from the thing that caused the problem, that's a better justification for more regular care. And again, 100% of the time, it's always your option. But if you want to solve the problem correctly, that's the most effective way to get there so that you don't have a lifelong disability or, lack of ability, for a better term. So anyway, hope that helps and it makes sense to you. Stay tuned, leave me some comments below, and I'll see you around.